Well, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're well, thank you for joining me. Another glorious day outside, blue sky, warm weather. It's lovely. I hope it is where you are. Well, the weather's lovely, but the news isn't. It's hit the fan this morning, hasn't it? We've all seen plastered over the airwaves what Starmer has done now. We've been talking about this over the last 48 hours, maybe a little bit more, about what's coming down the pipeline. And it's very interesting to see which areas the mainstream media concentrate on. And it seems to be in the main, the fish. You know, part of this so-called reset is the fact that we're allowing the other trawlers into our territorial waters for at least the next decade. And everybody's losing their shit. Before I go down this road any further with this video, there's one thing I want to make abundantly clear. Everybody has the right, the inane right to self-determination. You know, sometimes when I wake up in the morning, I ask myself, who am I? And what's the point? You know, I'm sure everybody asks themselves that question every now and again. It's even ingrained in the United Nations. You can see in this screen dump here, we all have the right to self-determination, and nobody can take that away from us. So make sure you know who you are and what you're about, and don't let anybody, and I mean anybody, change that. And let's talk about things, shall we? One thing that worries me very much is what people allow themselves to think. You have two types of people in the world: those that can think for themselves, stroke woken up and think, hang on a minute, there's something not right here. And then you get other people who believe everything the state tells them, everything they believe in the BBC and everything that comes out of Starmer's mouth as a contrast. For years, I was the asleep. Not anymore. I can think for myself. I've been called a far-right whack job and all sorts of stuff. You know, you take this guy here, Nappy Rash 3000. He has made something like 100+ comments on my channel. And when I've looked at the history, this is a very important lesson, by the way, for anybody that wants to have a go. I get to see every single comment you've ever made. And when you get obsessive idiots like this, who doesn't have a civil or polite bone in their body, and read some of the comments, you can see how far the apple has fallen from the tree. And these types of people are the problem. They believe everything they've been spoon-fed and kick off and resist and won't have the possibility of an alternative. For example, I did the interview with Graham Moore of the English Constitution Party last night, and that's on the channel. You can go and have a look, and even he got called a far-right lunatic. Well, hang on a minute, what do you base that on? There is something not quite right here. Right, Starmer, the deal. We've had a reset of our relations with the EU. Isn't that wonderful? It's a great big betrayal of Brexit in its entirety. Just to remind you, here are the figures. You can see who voted leave back in the referendum. I voted leave back in the referendum, and the reason I voted leave, and I would do again, is I do not want to be governed or told what to do by some unelected bureaucrat I've never heard of in my life. I vote for my representative in Parliament who's supposed to air my grievances and support my views. This is something sadly lacking. That's why I voted for Brexit, and I would again in a heartbeat. It's not on. What Starmer's done has given away far more than deals and everything. He's given away part of our national sovereignty, and again I'll come to that very shortly. Let's talk about immigration. That's a biggie. Some people say I voted for Brexit because of immigration. I believed Farage because of immigration. That's what I want fixed. Everybody voted for Brexit because of, you know, different reasons at the end of the day. Have a listen to this.
Nigel Farage has been investigating an organisation called the Homeland Party in conjunction with the Times, which has said that it wants to solve mass migration with remigration. We all know what that means. Now, my colleagues have spoken to individuals who...
By the way, I've never heard of them.
No, I know. I'm not saying you did, but I'm just putting it to you. And they claim they've left your party, Reform, to join Homeland because of your fault.
Good.
Because of Rupert Lowe.
Great. Fantastic. Do you know what?
But not having a tougher stance on immigration.
I'm going to go and buy a beer now. Our stance on illegal immigration is fair, reasonable, what most countries in the world do and what we used to do until about 2010. Nothing that we do is based on loathing or hatred of other groups of people, and that's the difference.
So you're happy if they trot off to a Homeland Party?
Absolutely.
So that's Nigel Farage's current narrative with regard to immigration into this country. He was told that there are people that want to leave reform. To be quite honest, maybe count them on one hand. Good, go was the attitude. And he's very much that there would not be a hardline attitude or hardline solution to the problem of immigration. It's it's not going to happen. At the end of the day, we've been too soft on this subject. We continue to be so. There are people here that shouldn't be. You commit a crime, you should be out the door. People are coming across the channel in their droves. Why are they here? Get rid of it. I could go on forever and a day on this. You see his stance on immigration. You make your own mind up. That's entirely up to you. Have a look at this picture here. This is me holding a phone with Graham Moore's face on it, funnily enough. And this was a thumbnail from a video I did on my Rumble channel, probably getting on a month, 2 months ago now. And the video is entitled along the lines of Keir Starmer commits treason against the UK, or words to that effect. And I was warning about what's happened, what all the YouTubers and everybody have been warning about over the last couple of days, and that's this idea of signing over our military sovereignty or our military control to a third party. Again, constitutionally, it's in breach of literally everything you can think of. Everything you look up, you cannot do it. Now, it's been dressed up in the media as we have access to a £150 billion European Defence Fund, Development Fund, whatever you want to call it. SAFE, I think the initials are. That's how it's been sold as a benefit to us, but it isn't. If you scroll down, if you read the white paper, if you drill down and look into what's actually being put on the table, he's given away everything. And not only that, you think of your kids. If you've got young kids like I have in their 20s, they're now in a precarious position depending on where this goes. And Starmer has signed all of that away. Now, if there's any generals or anybody else that in any positions of authority that can see this and where it's going, and they're not concerned about their next OBE or knighthood or whatever it happens to be, surely they must stop and think, what the hell is this guy doing? He's not only putting the defence of this nation at risk, he's putting everybody at risk. He is the biggest Europhile going. He's proved that in droves over particularly the last couple of days. You look at his antics with regard to the referendum as well. Everybody's losing their shit. I can't say I blame them, but if you really drill down to the specifics, you see how sinister and how dangerous this deal is. We haven't gained anything. We've lost a lot, and it's all on the table. The United Kingdom, as it stands, in my mind, is not fit for purpose. This is what all of these silly deals are bound to. This is what all of this, gets rammed down everybody's throats with. Never forget that right to self-determination I said at the beginning of this video. We're English, we're Scottish, we're Welsh, we're Northern Irish. Those are our countries. What are we going to do about it? You tell me. Anyway, thanks for listening to my little rant. As always, hit the like button. I'll leave a link in the description below to the live I had with Graham last night. Well worth a watch. Please share this on your social media. Subscribe to the channel. I look forward to talking to you soon. Toodaloo.